Hi, everybody. Let's watch videos from the past. It's all crazy, like things that happened in the past. There you go. Let's
I'm not ashamed of anything. Leviticus. That's the truth, my friend. 500 years ago, they start preaching how they need to preach, or they need to sit down and shut up and let a real man do it. You know what? These guys need to get some hair on their legs. Go on camera. We don't want to say it because we won't go out and make a statement. You know who ought to be ashamed? The book and preach this book. They need to get filled with the Holy Ghost. And I will be ashamed of Jesus Christ or of His words in this adulterous and wicked generation. The reporter said, "Oh, you're hiding behind the Bible." Yep. And you know who ought to be ashamed of themselves? That's right. Every pastor in cities, watch this, in this city who won't in infirmities. I'm not embarrassed at all. I'm not ashamed at all. Because you know what? I'll stand, the news. You know what? I will proudly stand and proclaim this for joy. Take pleasure in persecution. Woo! Yeah! For when I am weak, then am I strong. What the Bible says. And what he said, leap for joy. In the book of Acts, when they were persecuted, I take pleasure in persecutions.
These are 10 WCW tag teams that you've probably forgotten in no particular order. Let's go.
I'm not ashamed of any. Leviticus.
Man 213. Who's that from? That's from me. Oh, okay. Ghost Man. Have you ever heard of Aronra? Aronra. He says this about creation is what he said, and it gives me a link to go to. I don't have time to go to all the links right now, but tell you what, call in sometime or send me the details. Give me one example of what he says that you don't like, and we'll see if we can fix it. October 6th, this one from Expert Man 213. Okay, let's assume what you say is true, that the Bible is God's Word, and that it is a fact. Okay, I think it's not only a good assumption, that's a good starting place, good logical starting place, and I think you'll end up there after the whole discussion is over too. That will be the ending point once all the evidence is in. All right, so why would that be of consequence to my life? Okay, good question, Expert Man. Why would it be of consequence to your life if the Bible is true? Well, because the Bible says we're all sinners, and we're all going to be judged by God. And
Big Bad Mama!
Hey, Logan, I can only stay for a little while, but I thought I'd hang out with you for a little bit.
Oh, thank you.
How are you doing?
The other day,
Oh, everything's good.
Okay, let's go. This is the video I showed of when Kent just saw the first time Aaron Rawls' name.
Right.
Let's
watch it.
The reason why those two debated.
It is possible. I wonder if he looked at your link that you sent him.
I have no idea.
What was the link? Do you remember the link that you sent him?
It was to one of Aaron Rawls' videos.
Ah, okay.
About creation. It was crazy.
Right.
name, me. Who's that from? That's from me. Oh, okay. Ghost Man. Um, have you ever heard of Aronra? Arona. Aaron-Ra. He says this about creation is what he said, and it gives me a link to go to. I don't have time to go to all the links right now, but tell you what, call in sometime or send me the details. Give me one example of what he says that you don't like, and we'll see if we can fix it. October 6th, this one from Expert Man 213. Okay. Let's assume what you say is true, that the Bible is God's word and that it is a fact. Okay. I think it's not only a good assumption, that's a good starting place, good logical starting place, and I think you'll end up there after the whole discussion is over, too. That will be the ending point once all the evidence is in. All right. So why would that be of consequence to...
Were you watching Ken's videos by then?
I started watching them when he was married to Mary Toko. So what year would that have been? 2017 or 2018?
I'm not sure.
Something like that. And then I wrote in comments in his chat a bunch during that time period, and then I took a break until about 2019, maybe 2020, and then I started watching him again.
Wow. When did you
So
first...
off and on, but I think the first time was about 2017. So maybe like a year after this, a year or
What
two
was
after
your
this.
first video about him?
My first video was a compilation of all my chat comments that he addressed on his show.
Oh.
And I compiled them all into, like a long video. And he did several like really long responses to my comments. So, yeah, that was my first video. And then Atheist Junior helped me out by reposting my video on his channel. And that got me a bunch of new subs, which was cool. And then, yeah, my second, and then I just went from there and just started making videos from there.
Oh. Did you ever when did you do the first ever starring Stephen Bonin as...
Oh, maybe 2022, sometime in 2022. I think I made 12 of those videos.
Oh.
They took some effort, those videos. I'll try to make another one at some point, but they took a long time.
Oh, that's crazy.
And I had to go through, all these videos of Kent and Missing Maud. Missing Maud was often a star of those videos. Brett Keane and Steven, of course. Some
what
other
about...
people.
Did you ever have Achilles?
No, I think I'd stopped at that point. I did make some videos with Achilles.
Oh, I need to tell you something. Guess what? Tonight there's going to be two Proverbs shows. One is
Okay. Well, that's good.
Ryan, and one is going to be Stephen and Achilles.
Okay.
Declassified.
Well, that's good.
Have you ever been disclassified?
What's the name of the show?
Declassified.
Declassified. Okay.
Yeah. It's like Jesus Declassified, I guess.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is a continuation of their series where, with the thumbnail where Jesus has tape on him.
Yeah, that's weird. I've never seen something like that before.
I mean, whoever did that thumbnail, it's a pretty good thumbnail. I don't know what it means really, but
I think they try to say they've been silenced or something.
Silenced. Okay, I get it. I got it. Us, me in particular.
I'm joking. I don't know. By the Illuminati. Are you part of the Illuminati?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm not wealthy like that.
Oh, do you think Steven's part of the Illuminati?
No,
What
nobody
about
in our community.
not even Aiden?
Maybe Achilles.
Oh, okay.
He could be a multi-billionaire who flies around and controls people, but we don't know.
Do you think he might be? He seems rich.
He's got a good voice. He would make a good Hollywood villain.
Yeah. Uh, Mark Reed. He will make a good Professor X.
Yeah, yeah.
What if he
And
is?
he's a big person. He'd be good. He'd be a good Hollywood villain too.
Yeah. What about Aiden?
Aiden, I would put Aiden in more of a smart comedy situation,
Oh,
and
like Dumb and Dumber.
I would give him a rough script, and then I would let him ad lib, and I think he could be successful.
You ever seen that movie God's Not Dead?
Yeah,
Uh, that girl who plays in it, the blonde, blue-eyed girl who
Kathy
plays
Lee
his girl,
Gifford's daughter.
Kathy Gifford. I'm not sure. She had blonde hair. She played his sister. That's his girlfriend.
Oh, ooh, okay. It wasn't just his friend; it was his sister.
No, not his sister. His girlfriend.
Okay, are you sure it wasn't Kathy Lee Gifford's daughter that played that?
I'm not sure. That I'm not sure, but
She was like kind of a short, blonde-haired girl.
yeah, she
Let me
was
look.
also in. You ever seen this movie called the Gallows?
The Gallows?
Yeah,
How do you? I don't think so.
it's a horror movie.
God's
Actually, I like it. It's a found footage movie. I think it might have been her. I'm not sure.
Let's
She's
see.
blonde. She's also in. Yeah, old Cassie E. Gifford. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's her.
right.
Oh, she was in Gallows. Gifford.
Oh, okay.
Who's that?
Okay.
I forgot. It sounds familiar.
Do you know who Kathy Lee Gifford was or is?
I forgot.
She does a morning show. She used to do a show called Name That Tune, and she would sing. People would like try to guess the song she was singing, and she was married to Frank Gifford, who was a famous football player and announcer.
Oh,
The Gallows, okay, the
yeah, she
Gallows. Oh,
was in that.
found footage, supernatural horror film.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh, huh, I don't think I've seen that. It's produced by
Uh,
Blumhouse.
yeah, it's a good movie. I saw it the
Okay,
first time I saw it was on Halloween some years ago. I actually liked it.
okay, I'll
It's
check it
about this
out.
guy. It's about a guy who, in the beginning,
Uh
was
huh.
doing a play. He got hurt and died, like he hanged on accident,
Oh,
and he hunts the school.
okay. So then it's a supernatural
Ghost.
killer ghost.
Yeah, and the kids
Okay.
come in at night to mess up the place, and they end up getting attacked by the ghost.
What's
Yeah.
the one about the? It's a newer film that you told me about. It's kind of a serial killer type of um
A violent nature.
a violent nature. That one I have to check out. Yeah, don't tell me anything about it because I do want to watch that one
Only thing I
for
know
sure.
about it is they put on. They say in the trailer that it's a 513 knockoff. I guess.
Okay, you didn't watch it?
Yeah, I've seen it, but been a little bit. But
Okay.
yeah,
Was it? It was good, right?
yeah,
It
you
looks
see
like it's good.
through the Jason like guy's point of view.
I see.
Is that
From
weird?
his perspective.
Yeah, is that crazy?
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. That looks like
And
it'd be
her,
good. I like the Interview with the Devil movie. I thought that was really good.
Oh, you mean Late
Is that
Night with
what
the
it was
Devil?
called? Late Night with the
Yeah.
Devil. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
That
pretty
was
good
a
movie. It was
very
a bit.
very original movie.
Yeah, and the thing is, I didn't really understand. Was it him who did all that, or what happened?
Yeah.
That
He had
part I
made
did.
a deal with the devil, right?
Oh, and
And so I think that all these things were happening because of him, and he was keeping all this stuff secret from
wow.
his. I need to watch that one again, but
Yeah, it was
um,
weird. I didn't really understand the ending, but it was a good movie. I liked it, but I didn't
can you
understand it.
do subtitles or no?
What's this?
Can you watch movies with subtitles, or do you like to watch movies with subtitles or not?
No, I just like this.
English.
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah, there's a good Spanish one that's you would love it, but it does have maybe they'll make a dubbed version of it at some point. But yeah, it does have subtitles, but you would really like that movie. And I'm trying to think of the name of it, but it's a demon type of movie, but it's really well done.
Oh,
Let's see what this guy has to say in this Hovind video.
hey, he's a crazy guy.
To my life. Okay, good question, expert man. Why would it be of consequence to your life if the Bible is true? Well, because the Bible says we're all sinners and we're all going to be judged by God. And Matthew 12:34, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6, those verses say, every idle word man shall speak, they shall give account thereof on the day of judgment. Expert man, are you ready to stand before God and give account for every word you've ever spoken? What would the creator of the universe say to you as he plays back every word you've ever spoken? Would he find you guilty of blasphemy? I don't know. I've not heard every word you've ever spoken. I don't know who you are. Would he find you guilty of lying? That's one of the big 10, the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Would he find you guilty of bearing false witness if he played back every word you ever said? Would he find you guilty of idolatry, worshiping idols instead of him? Just read Exodus chapter 20, the 10 commandments, and then think about it. So why would it be of consequence? Well, you may be in trouble. Judgment Day. You might want to think about that. Let's see, Theodore, if they want to order the Great Pumpkin book, and we're just getting started here. If they want to order these in quantity to give out for Christmas presents, is there another one coming in soon before Christmas?
Oh, that's
Haley and the
Theo.
Pelican will be in before Christmas, anytime. So our children's color.
That's Theo, Lies of the Devil, that he's talking to there.
Wow, this must be a long time
Yeah,
ago.
so this is I think when he probably had his first YouTube channel. As you said, 2016, which he get out of prison the same year or slightly
Yeah,
before this.
I
Well, of
think
course, it was before this, but not too long before this, I don't think. Because, yeah, he's talking to Theo there, I believe.
yeah, let's see. How many years was this ago? 6 years ago.
6 years ago. Okay, so 2018. Yeah, that's possible because Mark was there when in 2019, and I'm thinking 2020, something like that. I don't know if their time overlapped or not. But
Yeah,
yeah, interesting.
Books, or we're not going to get them all before Christmas. We're getting a bunch of them in, though. We're trying to. Huh?
I'm trying to.
We're trying to get a bunch of them done. I wrote a lot of stories for the kids, and the grandkids loved it. And so far, the people that have read them really enjoy it, too. Simple stories for kids to teach them to glorify God for his creation. But if you want to get them in quantity, we don't know. We'll work on that. If you want to order 10 of them or something, to send them all the same time. I think, let's say it's $5 each for the book. If they get 10, we could do it for $3.50 each or something. Write that down, Diane. And then we'll discuss that. Tell me if I have a tendency to give everything away. We're trying to win the war, not build it. 10 or more, $3.50 each. How's that? Let's see. So you don't find. Oh God, why would that be of consequence? Let me finish. Expert man's question here. I can't find patterns at all because it would change in a second because of God's will. Well, no, expert man. God's will doesn't change. I mean, it's written in stone. It's written in a book. This is God's will. It's not His will that any perish. I know that. Second Peter chapter 3. He wants everybody to be saved and come. If you don't want to go, okay.
Hi, Sid.
Though
Good to
we
see
agree
you.
on some points, I have a lot of problems with many of God's proposed
Sid.
moralities, such as stoning and dismemberment as punishment for crimes. Well, if someone rapes your daughter, don't you think they should be stoned or something happen to them? Or should she have to live with that the rest of her life and worry about him coming doing it again? I think God's law is merciful. It's best for society. But, that's a poor argument against the existence of God, the fact that we don't understand why He has some of His laws. Maybe He knows more than we do, and we should give Him the benefit of the doubt. Okay, now this pathetic being you call, quote, God, is going to send me to hell to suffer for eternity because he disagrees with me. No. Expert man, he's going to send you to hell because you're a sinner, and he don't want people like you in heaven. Yeah, it's his home. He can let in who he wants. He wants people that are forgiven and cleansed in heaven. I wouldn't let somebody come into my house just coming off the cow farm with cow poop all over their feet and pants, and here, sit down at the table and have supper. No, go take a shower and then come and have supper. Okay, God's only going to let clean people in, and the only way to get cleansed is through the blood of Christ. My sins are washed away by the blood of Christ, not by my goodness. So, yeah, he don't want you in heaven as you are. He wants to change you and then take you to heaven. Let's see. This pathetic being you call God. The only one who deserves to burn eternally is someone who burns someone eternally for a transient crime. Okay, take it up with God. I'm not the boss. I think people who praise someone like that, most of whom because of some fear of being punished by him, I don't praise him for fear of being punished. I love my Heavenly Father. We get along great. Are pathetic people who have no faith in the validity of their own moral compass and mental capabilities. Small people with small beliefs. Okay, expert man, enjoy yourself. We'll see you Judgment Day. See how that works out for you. That's for her and the other for you. So just so we can get more work out of you, Lady Di and Ann, the basic idea is work harder. I'm kidding.
Jeez.
We have a blast around here. We got folks that just love the Lord and want to serve Him.
Do you think I'm the only one with a video of this?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
That guy expert man made a good point there. Why would you suffer for eternity for something that's just a one-time temporary type of sin that, you curse or you lie a couple times or you steal once or twice? Why would you suffer eternity for something that's so small?
I think it's all Kent's fault.
Kent has not changed at all. You could see there that he's like pushing people to work hard. It's always about hard work, but then he has to say, "Oh, we're having a ball out here." I bet if you ask people, some of those people are not having that much fun there.
They told someone to work harder.
Yeah, they're working their butts off there.
Yeah, Theo.
Would you like to live there?
I don't know, but Theo. When I seen his channel, he seems a bit crazy. Like,
yeah. I mean, his channel was kind of revolutionary, I guess. In terms of being a Hovind critic and stuff. But hey, Aiden, good to see you.
Hey, I just wanted to say that not only is the transient nature of one's sin something to highlight, but let's face it, hell as it's described in the Bible is a place where somebody like Adolf Hitler and somebody who ate shellfish one time are going to receive the exact same punishment as each other.
Right.
How is that just? How is that the ultimate essence of justice? I don't see it. I think the fact that no other society has ever exhibited punishments of that kind shows that no human finds that exactly acceptable or righteous in any way, shape, or form. But I guess because he created everything, he has the inherent right to do that if he wants. Sure, I guess if he did create everything, he has the right to do that, but how does that take away my right as an individual with agency to call that a shitty, horrible system?
Right. I mean, the guy that wears mixed fabrics is going to be in hell, but Jeffrey Dahmer is going to be in heaven because he gave himself to Jesus at the end or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, you
I
can
think-
literally wait until the last minute. Jeffrey Dahmer was better than the thieves on the cross by Christian logic, because Jeffrey Dahmer had a period of time between when he repented and when he got to see the end. He had to suffer more for his consequences than the thieves on the cross did. So it's just a backwards, nonsensical system that was perpetuated by powerful elites in order to keep people in line.
Yeah, scare
Aiden,
tactics.
speaking of powerful elites, Steven and Keely's having a show tonight.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's great. Sorry. Oh, excuse
and
me.
Brian is too.
That's great. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, they're both powerful elites. Especially
Yeah.
Steven. He's what we all known to be the great, the one, the
My phone's
only.
frozen right now. I'll be right back.
Yeah, they're
Gangster
gonna. So
Steven.
that's so they
Oh, sorry.
they scheduled a couple shows.
Yeah. They know you missed them, and they came back just for you, Big Bad Mom.
Right.
I guess Steven decided he was going to wait a week or two before he took his spiritual walk, so to speak. Which, as far as I'm concerned, he should take a spiritually long walk off of a short pier. But that's okay.
He is Gangster Steven.
That is true.
You know what? Aiden should have a conversation with Achilles on your show sometime, Ghost.
Yeah, I asked him about it before.
Would Achilles do it?
No, they're not interested in talking with me one-on-one.
Really?
I don't think so. I'm not sure he would.
Huh.
I can't imagine why.
You guys could have. I mean, you could have a conversation with Achilles.
Oh no, I could absolutely be civil, but they're not going to use that as the reason why is because they don't want to be an environment where they can't shift to somebody else, or it's not as easy to just move the topic along when I pin them down on something. So I'm not surprised.
Wow,
Right.
That would be great. I wonder, what would you like to talk to him about?
I mean, you could pick the topic. As I told Steven the first time that we were going to do a debate, quote unquote, that he could pick the topic. So
It was Noah's Ark.
It was Noah's Ark. And he was very close to doing it, and then he pulled an Achilles and said that it was a waste of his time at the last minute.
Well, I wanted to talk to Achilles about Pangea, and he refused. So I just had to talk to him about whatever came up.
He refused to talk about Pangea. Why? Are you traumatized, Achilles? Show me on the doll where Pangea hurt you, Achilles?
I just don't think he knew anything about it, and he didn't want to bone up on the subject. But I mean, yeah, he could have studied it from the creation perspective and talked about, or whatever.
He knew that you were going to have a conversation related to geology, correct? So
yeah.
I think it would behoove anybody who's going to go into a discussion about geology with a geologist. You know, you'd think you would look up plate tectonics and continental drift and the history of those things occurring, because we observe those happening around us right now. Like the Himalayan mountains are still growing because the Indian subcontinent is still pushing its way into the Asiatic plate right now as we speak. So, like, it's undeniable, the same way that Darwinian evolution, or as Christians like to call it, microevolution, quote unquote, is just undeniable. It happens every day right in front of your eyes. So I'm not surprised that he didn't want to touch that topic.
Yeah, I'm still going to push him on it, though, because
I think you should.
Yeah, I mean, there is, creationists have tried to explain it, and I want to get what their explanation is for catastrophic plate tectonics.
I
And
mean,
I think
no, go
it's,
ahead.
I like those topics because they're about deep time, and it's like their worst subject matter. They can always claim design, if you're talking to them about genetics and stuff, and always go back to design. But when you're talking about deep time and an old Earth, they really have nowhere to go. They have to completely dismiss everything, all of geology, all the fossil record, all of radiometric dating. They have to blanketly dismiss it. And it's ridiculous. Because they can't do that. All these things are corroborating one another. And so
Yeah.
um, it's just a good topic to discuss with them because it's their worst topic, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. No, I could see that for sure. I like giving them the floor to choose their topic because I want them to come at me with this haughtiness, this assuredness that, oh, they know so much about this topic and they've spent so much time doing it or studying it, that it just provides a level of openness because of that self-assuredness that I don't think you can get when you're talking about things that are their weaknesses in terms of topics that they may not have studied as much about. So I think it opens up a kind of dialogue that wouldn't be possible otherwise if you give them the floor to decide what they want to do in terms of the topic of discussion.
The only thing is they always shift to abiogenesis or the Big Bang, and
Well, it's
which
just
are
God of
things.
the gaps.
Yeah, that's where they want to shift to because there's still questions about those things, and they can, yeah, as you said, it's God of the gap. So they'd rather do those types of topics than topics that just have so much evidence to support it.
Well, they would rather focus on the tiny minutiae within science that hasn't been addressed or answered fully, rather than looking at the glaringly obvious deficits in their own theories and in their own logic, because it's a lot harder to avail yourself of misinformation if you have convinced yourself that it's true than if you
Right.
just think that it's a bunch of phooey coming from a bunch of people in lab coats.
Remember that time that you were there and Dustin was on there, and Dustin was talking about and getting into the minutia of a missing link between monkeys and apes or what have you. And then I brought up his evidence for Noah's Ark and how it explains our current biodiversity.
Right.
I remember how he just freaked out
Of
and
course.
he basically rage quit because they never like to scrutinize their natural history like they like to scrutinize science,
Well,
actual
it's
science.
they're evolutionary hyper accelerationists if they take Noah's Ark seriously. They have
Right.
to be.
Unless they're
There's
bubblegum.
yeah. Well, at that point, you're literally just throwing any and all logic and intellectual honesty out the window at that point. But you know what? He's blatant about it, so I can respect that in a weird, sardonic, messed up level. I can kind of respect that a little bit,
Yeah.
as opposed to he's not running a grift. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, there's definitely you were talking to me before about Bubblegum being better than Lupin. In that aspect, I agree. Lupin's trying to grift people. He's trying to get money out of people. He's trying to sell this image of himself that doesn't actually exist. I mean, he's overtly asking people for money off of the basis of an image of himself that doesn't exist, whereas Bubblegum is just out there being a contrarian.
At least Bubblegum is being himself. He's not
Right.
Lupin is a straight Kent Hovind-ite.
Well,
Um,
I never get the impression from Bubblegum that he's saying this to me right now out of like any insidious nature. I don't think he's like trying to push some sort of bad agenda whenever he talks about any of his anti-trans, anti-LGBTQ stuff. I know he isn't going to lift a finger to actually affect any change in those communities. He's just trying to elicit a reaction out of people.
Right. He is.
Anyways, I have to go, but thank
Oh.
you for having me on, Gigi. You have a good one, buddy.
See you, Aiden.
Have a good night.
See you, Big
Thank
Bad Mama.
He disappeared. But yeah,
he appeared and disappeared. What's that, Logan?
would you ever talk to Steven?
About, it would depend on what it was about.
Ron Wyatt?
Ron Wyatt.
About that guy?
Maybe.
But it was on this show. You two.
I'd rather talk to Christian Carpenter about geology.
Oh. Any relations to Christian Pike?
I don't think so. I like Christian Carpenter, though.
Oh, me too.
He or she's always polite.
What about you had a talk with Luke?
No. I'll have another talk with Achilles, though.
Yeah, that'd be nice. What would you like to talk to him about?
Let me think about it.
Would you like to talk?
We could talk about evolution, or we could talk about Noah's Ark.
What about Ron Wyatt?
I guess so. He might not want to talk about that, but you could throw those topics out there.
Yeah, Steven, I would love to see you talk to Steven about Ron Wyatt. That would be a good one. Who would have won?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, did I tell you that Bruce messaged me? It was late at night. Talk about
Christian Carpenter's a he.
oh,
I'll remember that. Oh, thanks, Fana. Good to see you, by the way.
yeah.
Logan, what did you just say? I'm sorry. My mind's a little.
Bruce messaged me late this one night. Woke me
Oh,
up.
did he say that you were having heathens on or something, or?
He said that you ever seen South Park? There's this fat guy who's had chips on his stomach playing video games with them, so you can
Yeah.
never know who you're talking to. He said he's not sure. Said something like he's not sure who those could be on the panel.
Oh, yeah, but you know who's on the panel.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen everyone that's on your panel,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's what he said. It.
You've seen them. You've seen them in person.
Yeah.
And you've talked to them like outside of YouTube.
Yeah, but him on the other hand, that's what he was saying. I wasn't saying anything. I was more still half asleep.
Right. Well, he wants you to think that you can't trust us, that we're just internet people, but we're not just internet people. You and I talk on the phone all the time. You talk to Mark all the time. It's just not. He just doesn't understand what's going on there. But
yeah, and then he got mad at me. He said, "Oh, I see," because I didn't want to talk. I told him talk later. I was tired, and he ended up blocking.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Because you said you had to go to sleep.
Yeah, I said talk later or something. Yeah.
Is Dan still texting you a bunch, or?
Yeah, I talk to him sometimes too. Yeah, he's a great guy. Well, Outcast with BBM.
Oh gosh, we'll definitely not talk about Egypt. I've had enough of Egypt to last a lifetime. I'm trying to get her to come on and yell at me. Who wants to talk about Egypt? They were just out there in the Nile and kind of isolated, and I don't think they had really any impact on history. I'm not sure why anybody would want to study that culture. But there's people that want to study that.
Look, Kent is watching you. Yeah, it's funny. When I go to
Just trying to
UK,
bait her. Just trying to bait one of my favorite people.
yeah, when I go to UK, I'm gonna take picture of their Egyptian thing and send it to Miss Outcast.
Oh, good. Yeah. I saw the King Tut exhibit when I was a kid in London at the British Museum. Yeah, are you going to go to the British Museum?
Yeah.
It is one to make sure you take some time because it is huge.
Uh
Uh-oh.
oh. Yeah.
I mean, I just, I mean, I guess there's people that study every culture, but why you would choose Egypt to study, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't even think they came in contact with other peoples. They were kind of out there in the desert by themselves. Um, I mean, the pyramids are interesting, but she's coming on. I can feel her
huh. Do you believe
scrambling
that
to
it
get
was
on her computer.
really
What's that,
aliens who
Logan?
created the pyramids?
Yeah, I'm not sure that the Egyptians even, from what I understand, she she's in the elevator.
Uh oh.
They're so, I mean, there's a theory that they were the Aztecs were actually came over because the Olmec and these tribes actually made pyramids too, and they went over and made the Egyptian pyramids because the Egyptians didn't really know how to make pyramids. And so, yeah, there's a thought that people sailed over on ships from America to make the pyramid, help the Egyptians make their pyramids because um, they didn't know they were using square wheels and they just didn't know how to build the pyramids.
Uh oh. Oh, she's gonna get you. Uh, yeah. I need to that other day. Where is he? Just crazy guy. He was on there yelling and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he makes for an entertaining show, that's for sure. Also, I heard, Ghost, I heard that the Sphinx was just a natural rock formation. It wasn't really, it's just shaped like that.
Oh,
There's no like evidence that it was carved into that. It's just the wind and the water made it that shape.
oh, I didn't know.
Um, that's what they say. But I've studied the Egyptians a little bit, but
Oh. Do you know as much as Steven does?
I know as much as the current Egyptologists know about it.
Oh. Steven says he knows a lot about Egyptians.
I think a
Man,
lot of from what I understand, the archaeological the Egyptians didn't keep good records. They didn't put their losses in their histories, and so their histories are all jumbled together.
uh-huh.
This is what I've heard, but maybe somebody can correct me on that at some point.
Yeah. That's what Steven said. He said they are very
I know
propaganda.
that's what they always say is the Egyptians kept poor records um, and they say that yeah, they didn't register their losses, which is a load of crap. Um, but is Missy Maud out there?
I don't get it. She doesn't show up on the thing on
Oh,
there.
I don't see her on there. Maybe she has us blocked.
Uh, I don't know. I see her in the YouTube channel, but not on here. It's weird. That happens to Lupin too.
I could see studying Greece or Rome and doing archaeology, but I'm not sure why somebody would choose Egypt as a subject for their studies. Come on, where is she?
She's coming. I could feel her running to her.
She's swearing in Swedish.
Oh, here's one kid we helped save from his mom tried to raise him as younger than he is. Uh, he's part Polish. He mainly know Polish words.
Oh,
Yeah, he's adorable
huh.
little dude. Yeah, is that crazy?
Do you know how to say stuff in different language?
Only one that's in Spanish, and that's Gatsby's. And multi
Oh,
Gatsby's.
do you know how to count to 10 in Spanish?
Twice, I forgot.
Uno,
Uno,
dos,
dos, twice,
tres. Good.
tres,
Cuatro,
cuatro. I forgot what else.
Cinco, seis,
Cinco.
siete, ocho, nueve, diez.
Oh,
Once, doce, trece, catorce, diez, cuatro, diez, cinco, dieciséis.
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
Oh. But I need to tell you, last night, uh, I didn't. What the?
What's that?
Oh, beat! I swear it's sweet.
And they say that Egypt stole a lot of their quote unquote technologies from other cultures, like the ancient Greeks, that they didn't invent any of their own, you know, their writing. They took their writing from other cultures and different, their hieroglyphics, and they didn't really, there was nothing original that they gave to the world. Now they were interesting because they lived out in the desert and they had cats. They really loved cats, but I think that's probably the most interesting thing about them is their love of cats.
I did they did is it true they evolved cats? I guess like mix them together like people did with dogs.
I Yeah, well there is a cat that's out there in the desert in Egypt called the sand cat, and it's a wild type of cat.
Oh,
And I don't know if that was the cat that they used to, um, because the cats were so important because they kept the mice and the rodents out of the grains, out of the crops, basically. And so that's why cats were worshipped so highly, is because they kept, all the pests out. But um, yeah, I'm not sure what the wild cats were that the Egyptians used. Um,
they were
Yeah,
crazy.
that was funny when Deviant started speaking in Spanish to Bruce Phantom. That was classic.
A crazy cat ladies
They
up
were
there.
the cat ladies of the ancient world. Cleopatra was known as a crazy cat lady,
Oh, you're in trouble now.
and Cleopatra was married to King Tut, from what I understand. And oh, hi, Deviant.
Oh my God! You have no idea. And my damn headphones. Now I'm connected with my phone.
And
Ah!
so the Mesoamericans came over to Egypt, the way I understand, and they taught them how to make pyramids.
Oh, you're gonna get the spanking.
I gotta go. Logan, it was good talking to you.
Good talk to you.
No.
Deviant, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I'm very sweaty and very
Oh my
very
God.
agitated.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry.
no, it's
Jeez.
because of course my headphones won't connect, and for no reason at all. That
You
they're
sound like you
on.
ran up a flights of stairs.
Went to the store, and right when I came out from the house, I saw Gigi was on, and of course I had like, I think it was like 2 minutes to shop when I got to the store, but that's usual. That's business as usual.
And Soot
Oh,
said you were at the store and that you were coming on after you got back from the store. So
Yeah, but then I made the mistake of announcing when I was like halfway back here, and then I realized that if I don't get up there, I'm gonna be like laughing out loud by myself in like it's 10 p.m. It echoes really well in between the houses here. So.
oh, Miss Outcast, the PGs are having a show today. Ryan and the Ryan show, and then later on, Achilles and Steven's show. They're going to be
Oh,
discussing.
are they gonna do uh, the Gilgamesh,
Uh, that one,
or is
no,
it just a regular show?
just a regular show. It says evolution of religion on
You-
life support.
what is it? Evolution on life support?
Yeah,
That's
evolution.
Evolution,
hilarious.
the religion on life support. Yeah, you got to love how they really have their own niche. It's not at all like a carbon copy of Kent Hovind.
Right. Well, they act like that the theory of evolution is propped up by YouTube debates and YouTube videos, and that's all the evidence that can be, as long as they can debunk somebody, Kent Hovind can debunk somebody on a debate, then the whole theory of evolution is out the window.
Yeah, it's not at all that every time he's Hovind is on, he really baits for someone to debate. That's why he's like, oh, I'll debate anyone anytime. He really wants people to come on and debate him, because if not, then half of his quote unquote uh, services, church services, are going out the window, because that's what he does. That's
Yeah,
what his poor congregation is
it's
sitting
half
there
his
listening to.
audience.
Yep. Oh my goodness.
Sorry about that. Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. Now I'm gonna try to figure out why my head. Oh, okay. Thank you, headphones.
You're welcome.
I came
You
back
had
to
to
the
hand
computer.
crank
I
the
click once,
elevator.
and immediately they connect.
Oh, okay. It sounds good. Your sound is good.
Oh, really? That's because now I only have my like earpods thingy. They're not earpods, but that kind. And I'm going directly through my phone, and I think that makes a big difference, because I share, since I don't have an internet connection at the moment. I'm only using my phone, so my computer shares from, or my phone shares to my computer the Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it sounds
So
good.
good.
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
Uh, mm, not much. Uh, Crocheting. I made a very, 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 very small pair of scissors, but they are
Oh,
too big,
you,
so I have to
you lost
do
so
another
you
pair.
ended up losing your other ones.
Yes.
Oh, that's too bad. I mean, can you actually buy a small pair of scissors like that, or
No, no, no. I made them.
you made
Therefore,
that you made the ones that
yeah,
you lost even?
I made. Whoops! I
Oh,
dropped one of my phone things. How does anyone else have the issue that your
no.
your earbuds just jump out of your ears?
I use
Because
full-on
that happens to me.
headphones.
Oh, oh, yeah, that's better actually.
Yes.
No, so
Sorry.
I made a copy of a pair of scissors that I I have, but I made them in the ones I have are reg usable. You can use them. Uh,
So you
so
hold them between your thumb and your forefinger on each hand. You like you hold each side of the scissors using your thumb and forefinger on each hand, right?
yes, but these are the kind of the old. They are more like clippers almost.
Okay.
So I made a miniature of them, but they are about 1.5 millimeters
Oh my
too
God.
big. So
Oh, okay.
I think I have to remake them or make a new pair so they fit the
Get
seam.
some opens hooks.
What's that? Opens hook?
They won't, oh, they're for your earbuds. They won't fall out of your ears.
Oh, 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 oh. Oh, right. That you kind of you yeah, you hang them over your. That's actually a good idea because I'm kind of scared that I will one day I will just lose them and they will, I don't know, fall somewhere where I can't get them.
Oh.
What do you make? What's your project that you're working on for your miniatures?
Uh, so it's I'm doing more on the artist studio. So I'm now adding. I made a teeny tiny sewing station for bookmaking for bookbinding. Uh, so I have one of those, and then I need a pair of scissors, of course, and I need a spool of thread,
Oh, so the
and
scissors are for the piece.
yes,
Oh,
yes, yes,
okay.
yes, yes.
I got you. I thought they were like tiny scissors that you were using to make tiny things.
Oh, oh, no, 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 no.
Okay, okay, I
Uh,
get you now. I thought that you were
yeah.
like cutting, you had to cut like little bits of fabric, and you were using tiny
Oh.
scissors to do it.
Well, I do have
Oops.
kind of that type of scissors, but they're not even near as small as the ones I made from what's the word? Brass. It's
Okay. I remember
thin
seeing them
brass.
when you were showing them on Mark's channel.
Yes, right. Yes, yes, yes.
Did do you think you'll ever show your work in an art exhibit?
I mean, that would be really cool to do,
I mean, all you have to
but
do
I
is
have.
take some really nice photos of your work and put some stuff for scale in there and just send it to some museum curators or some art gallery curators, and I'll bet you'd get some bites for sure. And it would be like it's real easy. You don't have to actually take the piece over there and set it up and show them. Everything's by digital photo now. So you could do that and send it to a bunch of people and see if they're interested in showing your. Of course, I don't know if you're interested in selling your work, but I think if you probably got paid enough, you probably would.
Yeah, I mean, as is now, I have. So I often I come up with like, oh, I want to make. It didn't start with me wanting to make a whole scene. Uh, it often starts with me want to make a specific piece, like, oh, I want to make a foldable table, let's say, just to say, take something, and I do it, and it's fun, so I do another one, and then I do another one, and then I do another one, and then maybe I use one in a scene. And then I want to make another one, but I can't really justify to myself why, for instance, do I have like, I think I have four, uh, like what's it called, like cabinets that you
Right.
yeah, that they're everywhere. Things are everywhere.
I mean, how many like rooms do you have of miniature rooms do you have that you have all the things for the room?
One, two. So I have 3 rooms. I have one finished house, the extremely small one, and then 2 houses that are almost finished.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yep, and I live in a very small apartment.
Yeah, I would try to get that stuff shown. I mean, if you're interested in that, um, that's very unique and excellent. You know, the craftsmanship of those desks and stuff is just great. It would be real easy for you to at least see if there's any interest in that. You know.
Yeah, I guess I've never really. My brain goes kind of, yeah, that would be cool,
You
but
just
how
take
would
some
I do that? I don't know.
really good photos, which you
Yeah.
can even do with your phone if your phone has a good camera, with some good lighting, and then you generate an email saying, "This is my work. It consists of miniatures, this, and this," and then you just send that one email with the same photos to art galleries that are around your city where you think that they might be interested in showing that work. Um, it really
Hmm.
wouldn't take you that much time. I mean, you would just have to and you already have some good photos, as I recall, some close-ups showing the detail, and then some further back shots with maybe something for scale to show how small these things are. But I really think that you could get those shown somewhere.
Hmm.
Um, those are so unique. Nobody does that. Nobody is doing that.
You know what?
Doing that type of art that is that meticulous. Everybody wants like instant things that don't take that long
Yeah.
to make. But
Oh
this
yeah.
is like Deviant is sitting there for days at a time making a tiny, you know, I mean, it's like making a big cabinet. It's a woodworker making a big cabinet. You're just making a small version of it. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I've never seen anything like that. I've seen some really nice doll houses and stuff, but not with like work that detailed. But
Thank you.
um,
Hmm.
You ever?
I think you could. I think you
Yeah,
could get.
Ah!
against Steven. The gang's all here. It's crazy.
you
Oh, did I tell you about this, Miss
what?
Outcast? This other night. Oh yeah, I think I already told you. Yeah, he ended up blocking me.
Who
Oh
did?
yeah,
He,
yeah.
uh,
Bruce,
Bruce.
yeah.
Oh,
I I'm gonna say it this way. Uh, I wouldn't be too sad about it, and he's the one who is missing out.
right.
Yeah,
So
he did say sorry for calling me stupid.
yeah, that
Well, that's
that
good.
actually, yeah, I'm very happy about that. Actually, I think that's
I'm glad
yeah, I
Deviant
was
chewed
really
his
happy.
ass out. That made me happy.
Yeah, I was a bit worried
He
afterwards
deserves that.
if
I
I had
mean,
been
he
too
brings that
hard.
attitude in and, a sense of superiority to everybody. And he needs to be taken down a couple notches. And there's no way to do it in a nice manner. Um, it has to be done by fighting fire with fire, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, because he's not gonna listen to anything. He's not gonna listen to reason. It's you can't have a conversation with someone behaving that way. It's just nah.
Deviant Missing Mod has a question for you. Do you injure
Oh.
yourself a lot? I'll take
Yes.
that as a yes.
Yes. But since it's as long as I'm doing the miniature stuff, most of the injuries are small.
Or miniature.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy the other day. But uh yeah, earlier that Josh guy, he was a bit crazy.
I have decent
What do you think?
discussions with Josh.
He's a nice guy. Would you like to? I'd like to see you talk to Steven over Ron Wyatt. That would be great.
I'll debate Missing Mod about Ron Wyatt.
Would you debate Steven?
Maybe. I'd have to think about it.
He show you how much Steven is.
I'm just
Is
doing that
also
to stir up Missing Mod because I know she would never discuss that with me.
yeah. Oh, you heard of Hard Priest, but Steve Anderson did Hard Priest.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Miss Maud said this. Boo.
Ooh. See, I told you. She's afraid to debate me.
Get
And those
ready to
chariot
go
wheels.
down.
Oh.
Let's talk about those chariot wheels, Mod.
If Ron Wyatt was still here today, would you debate
Oh,
him?
yeah. That would be great.
This is the type of face you would make.
I'm not capable of making that face.
This is the face he would make. This is the this is what face Aiden would make.
That'd be hilarious if
He
Aiden
reminds me
actually
of a
had that many tattoos under his clothes.
Yes.
yeah. He is gangster Aiden.
Like he doesn't
Versus
really have
gangster Steve.
hair. He always wear a wig. So when it's fight
Right.
time, he just rips the hair off and rips.
Rips his shirt off.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's like gangster.
Look up what Miss Maud said.
Oh,
Was it?
we'll talk
Oh, we
about
will
those
talk
wheels
about
all
those
right.
wheels. All right. Oh.
Gigi showed his pics to Lupin.
I guess
Oh,
these
right. That was
pictures.
funny. Yeah.
Oh.
I showed this too. Here's Lupin as a freedom fighter. That was weird. I didn't know he had another show last night. Lupin.
When is Father Chuck going to make his announcement?
I'm wondering that too.
Gangster, can you ask him?
Father Charles. I tried calling him. I couldn't get a hold
Because
of him.
What?
he's not going by Father Charles anymore. And for months he was saying that he was going to make an announcement. So I'd like to hear what it is at this point.
Is it Mrs. Charles?
Yeah, Lupin. I didn't know he made another show last night. Is that crazy? The one about rain is still. I think it's still up.
Oh,
Is
I
that
know.
crazy?
I have a theory on his announcement.
Oh, okay.
What is it?
Yeah, he's
Well,
gonna be
I
hard
already know what it
priest.
is.
Yeah, me too.
I told you. No, I mean, no, I didn't tell anybody.
He told me.
Oh,
Did you tell
he told you.
yourself?
Okay.
Mm.
Do you know, Logan, what the announcement is?
Did you ever tell yourself?
No.
Oh,
I tell myself off oftentimes.
Do you talk to yourself?
oh no.
Oh yeah, who should I talk to when I'm not talking to you guys?
I talk to my cat.
Yeah, of course.
She likes to be talked to. Actually, she really like perks up, and she'll come right over, and she'll
Oh.
show me, instead of like rubbing against my face, she'll show me her butt. And I go, I don't want to see your butt.
She's like, but look, it's
He's
my
gonna stop
butt.
being a pope.
They think that's the ultimate in like trust or something, is sniff
Yep.
my butt.
My cat, she's weird. She likes to takes up and drop it at my door and start
Oh,
crying.
she wants you to play.
Yeah.
I open the door and she runs off.
Chuck is quitting Catholicism. He is stepping down from Pope.
Yep.
Yep, he's not gonna be Pope.
Do you think so?
I didn't know he was the Pope, but oh, do you think he has the Pope mobile?
That's the one with the glass
Could
case,
be.
right?
Yep. Because for a while there, he
But
only jumped on when he was in his car, but we all know it was the Pope mobile.
Yeah, it was very strange. Like he's got
Yeah.
a new job where he's driving.
Mm-hmm.
oh. I wonder what's going on with
Yeah, I
Father
don't know if
Charles.
we'll find out.
But yeah, guys, what happened with Lupin though? The second show, you said the second one he had butter. What? Not butter.
Bubblegum,
Bubble
yeah.
gum on there.
What about it?
Wow, it must
Oh,
got
you didn't
crazy
see it?
with him on there. Yeah, I fell asleep.
It was Missing Maud, Bubblegum, and Lupin,
Oh,
which is a
Did
very
they go
strange
crazy?
combination of people.
yeah. I kind of feel for
When
Missing
Missing
Maud for
Maud is
that.
the sanest person in the group, you know that there's a problem. trying to stir her up in the.
What if you fall into another dimension where you and Miss Maud are married?
Uh, I would hire a lawyer the next day to see what I could do to get out of that situation.
Oh.
She's not taking the bait. Speed Roman.
Oh yeah, I need to. Oh, hi, Speed. Oh, internet will fall apart. But yeah, yeah, that was crazy. But would you ever debate
No,
Lupin? Okay. What about
nope.
Stump? What about Buttergum? Bubblegum.
Mark Reed and I took on Bubblegum one time, and wasn't it on was it on your show, Logan, or maybe
I
it
don't
was on
know.
Missy Mod's
I
show?
know he had.
Um,
I know he had a bit of a debate
I'll
with
have to try to
Peter. I think.
find that at some point. We had an
Yeah,
interesting discussion with Bubblegum.
he said that he believes that all animals are created separate.
Yeah,
Se-
yeah,
separate from what?
Oh,
each other. So there is no
each other.
Oh,
cat kind, for example. The
oh,
Dalmatians were created by God as a Dalmatian, poofed into
oh,
existence.
okay,
He called it Big
okay.
Banged into existence.
Yeah, that I've only talked to him once, but I can see that.
Oh,
Uh,
Missy Mott said she'd
I
give me some good love.
ooh,
Oh,
but what
Okay.
about
Okay,
Miguel?
that changes things. Who? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
oh,
I'm
Well,
just kidding.
three is a party.
I don't have anything against polyamory, actually. Whatever people are, whatever, however
what if
they're
someone
happy.
marries
Yeah,
millions of people?
That's not going to work.
no, that,
Oh,
that
are you sure?
I
yeah.
mean, how are you going to have a relationship with millions of people? That would be tiring.
Oh,
Yes.
what
How
about
would you have a sexual
billions
relationship
of people?
with a million people?
Well, have millions of girlfriends like Mark.
Send in number 452,291, please.
I mean, not even the pharaohs had it.
What were the most concubines do you think that they had back in the day? Like
Oh,
a sultan or hundreds?
oh, for sure, hundreds, easily
Yeah.
hundreds. Uh, I have so somewhere I'm not really sure who it was, but somewhere around uh, 500, and I believe it was. I actually believe it was Ramesses II,
Oh,
but so
okay.
they not all of them were like young because they inherited the harem of their father or
Father. Okay.
predecessor. So some were like old, more grandma types, and yeah.
Huh. Were they all buried with him, or like
No,
when they died, did they kill any of the concubines to bury them with them, or did
they
they just
did
pass
in
them
the
on?
no they passed them on except for in the first, I believe it's the first dynasty, um, because they have found uh, so the burial site from the first dynasty, which is the pre um, it's the pre-dynastic era, which means it's not the old kingdom. The two first dynasties are not included in the old kingdom. I don't know why, but doesn't really matter. Uh, but so they used to like everyone in the palace, everyone who's servants and all of that, and they were buried with the pharaoh. But they quickly realized what everyone should realize, which is it creates a great lack of stability when you have virtually no one to. I mean, someone had to be left. The family, for instance. I
Right.
mean,
Right.
the immediate family, but you suddenly you don't have any stability to really build upon. So it's only like the first dynasty, and I'm not even sure they did it for the whole period of time. They have uncovered most of their graves, and I'm gonna see if I can find a picture. How can I do that in a book? I mean, I can in a book, but what? How would that
Can you
help
hold it to
us
the
here?
camera or?
Yes. No, I realize that. I always
Okay.
go to my. I almost always go to my. Uh, uh, yeah, I think it's Jet. When it comes to Egyptology, I prefer to use my my books first, but it's easier if you're gonna share something. It's easier
Rather
to
than the
do it on
internet
your.
is what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
I also have a question about the Egyptian cats.
okay.
Did the sand cat is common to that area, or I don't know if you're familiar with that wild type of cat, but it's called the sand cat. And you know, did the ancient Egyptians, were their cats descended from the sand cat, or were they descended from the European wild cat, which is, I guess, supposed to be the ancestor of modern cats?
Uh, so the ancestor of the modern cat is the Egyptian Mao.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
Of
mean,
all cats.
yeah, all cats are descendants from um the what is today the Egyptian Mao, and they are very similar to the ancient cats, which is why they have the name for Mao is the ancient Egyptian word for cat. It means cat,
Right.
which I think is kind of cool. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see.
So they're saying the African wild cat is the origin, which is where the Egyptian Mao came from, I'm sure. But it was the African
Yeah.
wild cat. Um, let's see.
Oh, he's serious.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Oh, uh, yeah, that's what I thought. I remember here it was Egyptians who first tamed the cat and helped mix them into the cats we have today. Is that right, Miss Hawkins?
Yep. Yes.
Oh, who was the dogs mixed by China or Japan?
I'm I'm not clear at all uh, how the spread of the. I mean, an easy way of spreading is that it it follows humans, and human like to have cats around, of course. Uh,
Originally, the Egyptian populations were credited with the early domestication of cats approximately 3,600 years ago, but archaeological evidence also disputed the hypothesis in 2004. Archaeologists working in Cyprus found an even older burial ground a Neolithic site that is approximately 9,500 years old of a child buried with a cat. Cats are not native to this area, which means the tribe must have brought the cats with them when they established residence on the island. This finding suggests that people from the Middle Eastern region of the Old World began keeping cats thousands of years earlier than the Egyptians. Huh.
Wait, but when did you say 3,600 years
And this
ago?
is 9,500 years ago, the Neolithic site that they found. I'd have to
Yeah,
look
but
at that. This is just
the
from what Wikipedia says, but
okay, yeah, because the uh, the number there, so 3,600 years ago, that would mean the time of Tutankhamun, give or take like 300 years, or give
hmm.
300 years, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and we have depictions of cats as pets from the old kingdom. So I'm not sure if someone has. It's rather 36 BCE than 3,600 years ago. It could be a mistake they have made. I mean, it's still not as long time ago as 9,000. Uh, of course.
Oh.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
Father Charles in the
that's fine.
comments. I'd like to
Father
see.
Charles, good to see
Come
you.
on here, Father Charles. We miss you. Come on here. Tell us about your big announcement.
No, just
Or
come
just come
on.
on here and you don't have to make an announcement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We miss you, Father Charles. Father
Yeah.
Charles. The Chuckstonator.
You need to bring back the father to his Charles. I always know him as Father Charles. I did. He used to call himself Pastor Charles because a lot of people, like the Baptists, were complaining about the name Father.
What?
That's their
Why?
problem.
It
Yeah, exactly.
was crazy.
That's like Kent Hovind complaining about an actual person with a PhD in genetics calling themselves doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe that is why why they do that.
They think that father indicates Catholicism in their mind automatically. They know
yeah.
nothing about the Orthodox Church. They don't even,
That and because about what Jesus said about not calling another man your father. I guess.
yeah, but that's a whole different context. I mean, the word, it's just a title that you earn by your education, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yep.
I
And
I
think
I
it
mean,
was.
mean,
isn't it? It's as
if
simple
you're
as
not
that.
gonna call another man your your father, I'm guessing that what's hinted at is that uh, God is the father.
Yeah.
But we most people still call their dad. Uh, well, they maybe call them dad or daddy-o or hey you,
Daddy-o.
but I don't know.
Yeah, 1955.
Yes. Hey there,
I
daddy-o.
called my dad. I call my dad Dad.
Yeah,
You ever call him
I
father?
No, I called him Dad, and I called my mom Mom, and
You ever?
I called my grandma Granny, and I called my grandpa Pa.
oh
Uh, my nephews and nieces like to call My dad, Papa.
They call say that again?
They like to call my dad when I talk, Papa.
Oh, okay.
Is that like Italian name for dad
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
grandpa?
Or
Papa.
Spanish.
Oh,
Yeah, Spanish too, right? But so it's uh, for some reason, maybe it's a British thing. I've gotten the impression that when it comes to grandparents, it's like if it's on the mother's side, it's say Nana, and if it's on the dad's side, it's Granny, or the other way
Oh,
around.
okay.
Uh, yeah, I've noticed that, but it's primarily when it comes to like British people, and I don't know if it's how like uh, not set in stone, but
oh,
we have different. It's much easier. We have mm, uh, different words
Mm,
for each of our grandparents that denotes, and the same goes for like aunt and uncle, depending on if it's on the mother's or the father's side. The words are different, but they are very easy.
oh,
I mean, it's not it doesn't take brain surgery to be able to configure the different ones, or maybe it does. It depends on how your brain is functioning from to begin with.
oh.
Maybe you need some brain surgery to be able to
do you
pronounce
still
it.
have your grandparents?
No, no. Uh, so all of my grandparents uh, became parents quite late in life compared to the 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 medium or the
Right.
yeah. uh,
Mine
and
too.
my parents also had children late, and my parents turned 80 this year.
Okay.
So yeah, so they would be very. My grandfather on my dad's side was born in 1900, and my grandmother in 1904.
Mm. Mine were born in the 1890s.
Oh wow, that's
My
kind of cool.
grandparents. Yeah, totally cool. I mean, my grandmother lived, yeah, I mean, like the Old West was still happening when she was born, and then she lived through like the space age.
Yeah,
So she saw a lot of, both world wars and a lot of changes. And
yeah. I'm often thinking about that when it comes to specifically my grandfather, because since he's the oldest. My grandparents on my mom's side was born in 1912, uh, but since he was born in the year 1900, and he died in the autumn of 86,
mm,
so he lived through both of the great wars. He experienced the space age, the computer age, uh, and even the evolution of nuclear power and nuclear weapons from, like, so he was born on a farm, uh, started working at 12 years of age, uh, then became a studied at university and so forth, and became a priest. But when he was studying, he had to have his feet in a box of straw to keep them warm,
wow. Because he
and
had no
he died.
shoes and socks, or
Yeah, yeah. And so it's quite amazing to think about that era had so much happened, so much change, and yeah,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
cool.
Massive change in a short amount
Hmm.
of time.
For sure.
I mean, I just look at my own life and how, when I went through school, we were, as typewriters and
Hmm.
um, we had to write, we had to write our papers on typewriters. We're all sent, we had to write cursive and do all this stuff that I don't know if people write cursive anymore or what, but um, yeah, it's just but yeah, going back to that era and seeing how many changes there were is amazing.
Yeah.
I heard that like Iceland was um up until like the 1920s was kind of like how you were describing your grandparents back in. I mean, it was the same as it was back in the 1800s,
Oh,
in terms
really?
of like technology and stuff or lack of technology.
Well, I can almost. I actually don't know really. Um, but so I used to know a guy who was originally from Iceland, and uh, did meet his grandma once. She still lived in Iceland. Uh, and from what I understood then, it was, and this was like in the mid 90s, 1990s. So uh, they still, because I mean, in the 1990s, uh, of course, they had computers in Iceland, but not to the degree that we did.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know if it's because it can't be just that it is an island. I mean, there are a lot of islands in the world uh, that are nations, not a lot, but like Britain, like Australia. Uh, and it's not like they are completely cut off from everything.
But there's only one road that goes around the entire place. Um,
Yeah,
the
they
ring
are
road.
it's so small. It's such a small nation.
It's I drove around the entire island.
Oh, you
Um,
did?
yeah, yeah. I took a 3 week trip there, and I drove the entire ring road, and it's not that small. um, it and the roads, of course, you're not going 80 miles an hour or what have you, like we drive here. Um, some of the roads are one lane to where you have your left wheels on the pavement and you have your right 2 wheels on the dirt, so that when you
Oh,
pass somebody they're doing the same thing so that you can still keep 2 wheels on the pavement. Does that make sense? And then when nobody's coming, you can put both of your sets of wheels on the pavement and go. But um it was interesting. Yeah, it was a really,
yeah.
really cool trip. I love that place.
Yeah, I'd actually would like to go there because it seems, I mean, it's almost like Greenland. It's kind of, I know people live there, but I have such a hard time. Alaska is the same. Like, are there cities? Do they have running water?
Except they look
I
completely different from one another. Um, Iceland is just the rock is volcanic. It's all just a
Yeah.
volcanic island. And so there's a lot of volcanic activity. There's not many forests left. I don't know if they were cut down by the early,
Yes.
part of it's the fact that they were
They
cut down,
were.
but also it's not really forested area. I mean, it's very
Yeah.
spongy
No. No.
ground. It's incredibly green. But Alaska is very forested, and the mountains are massively huge. So the
Yeah.
weather would be similar, I would imagine. I mean, in Iceland, it could be snowy and then 70 degrees the next day. It could just go from, I think I went in
Oh wow.
June. And so the weather just shifted. And I rented a car to go to this place called, I think it's called the Blue Lagoon, but it's where the icebergs come off the glacier, and you can see the blue icebergs in this lagoon. And I got out of my rental car, and the wind was so fierce that it took my door of my car, the driver door, and it bent it back to where it
What?
it went and crunched the metal. And so I was like, oh my God, this was my rental car. And so I couldn't close the door. I couldn't,
Oh
the
my
door wouldn't
goodness.
budge. And so I had to take a big rock from the lagoon, from the shore of the lagoon, and I had to bang on my rental car door in order to be, and I'm just like almost crying because I know I'm doing further
Yeah.
damage to this door. And I
Of
was
course.
able to like bang the metal into place to where I could close it. And then just leave it closed. But from then on and this was at the beginning of my trip, the rest of the trip I had to enter from the passenger side to get into the driver's seat.
Oh my
And I got back to so I took my trip, which was awesome and stuff. And I got back to the rental car agency. I said, well, I had a little bit of a problem. And it's like, you're paying for this now while you cannot leave Iceland until you've paid for this. And it wasn't that well, it was about $1,000, but
I mean,
that's my
I-
Iceland
they
door
should
car
have
door
some
story.
kind of weather insurance when you rent a car in Iceland.
I didn't get the car insurance. I didn't get the insurance. I didn't expect anything like that was going to happen, but the wind just like took that door and just whipped it open. And that crunching sound it made was just, my heart was just, it's just sad. But once my door was crunched, I was in this beautiful location. And I said, okay, it's just a thing. I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to meditate and I'm going to enjoy this spot because it's, one of the most beautiful spots in the world. And I'm just going to sit here and enjoy this. And it's just a door. I've already closed the door and worked it out. So I was able to enjoy myself. Anyway, sorry about that. Long story.
I'm just amazed. Like I can really feel the terror I would feel myself if that happened to me. Like it's not even if it had it been my own car, and not that I've ever had my own car, but if I had my own car, that's one thing. But it's like it's a rental, so it's not even
Yeah.
yours.
And I'm traveling by myself too, which is always, it's more if you have somebody with you, it's a little bit more reassuring and stuff, and they can, but when you're by yourself, you're all you've got, and
Yeah.
uh,
And just realizing that if you couldn't close the door, if you hadn't been able to close the door, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna try and drive and holding the door?
I would have had to have called the rental car agency to replace my rental car, and which would have cost me probably a lot to have them tow a new rental car out to me. Um, but I'll never forget banging on that door with this big rounded rock. And just like, oh God, what are they going to say back at the, I got to explain this at some point to the Hertz rental car people. They're not going to like this.
No.
They were actually nice about it. They just made me pay for it right there on the spot, which they
Yeah.
should have,
I mean, yeah, since if you didn't have any
Yeah,
insurance.
they had no way to. I think I did ask if, can you guys bill me for this later? Because I was running a little low on my credit card, but they said, no, we can't bill you for this later. You need to like handle this. And it's like, okay, here you go. Please, credit card, go through. That's what I was saying at the time.
And here are my grandma's gold teeth, and
Yeah,
here's my flight ticket, and
right. My shoes.
my shoes. Don't
I
ask
would
me why you
I'd
would have your
recommend going
grandma's
there.
teeth.
Yeah, I'd carry my grandma's teeth for emergencies, pried them out of her mouth before she died. Or after she died. I mean, not before.
I mean, both are horrible, but after is
Yes,
at least kinder to her.
right.
No,
Logan,
they
what are you
were
doing?
nice, filled with amazing places that, oh,
Oh, it was great. Yeah, the mud pots, the fumaroles, the geysers, the
mm-hmm.
waterfalls were the best. I'm a waterfall fanatic, and so the waterfalls just blew my mind. I have a video of it somewhere. I'll try to find it and send it to you because I think you'd really like it.
Yes. Oh, that would be awesome.
I only had a couple CDs with me, so I played the same CD over and over again. And I had Radiohead OK Computer, and that was the
Yeah.
CD that I played over and
Oh,
over and over again.
no,
So anytime
no.
I hear that CD now, it just takes me back there.
But it's a good CD.
Oh, good job. So yeah, take Deviant to Iceland. Yeah, it is a good CD. It's a really good CD. It's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that CD. You guys would love it there. I
Yeah,
mean, I
I
went
think
to the
so.
area where the Mid-Atlantic Ridge goes through and, where it's actively spreading there. And that was a beautiful area. It's in the area where the Vikings used to have their meetings. And I'm trying to think of
Oh,
it's a
the
national
thing.
park. Thingaleer.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Thing-a-ling.
Thingaleer, isn't it? Or something like that.
Um,
It's a beautiful national park.
is it weird? I have to ask because I've been thinking about this quite a lot, more than I should. Uh, is it weird for you who are English speaking that it's called a thing?
What?
So you know the it's called a thing.
What is called a thing?
The thing. The thing is called a
What?
thing.
I don't understand.
The meeting where they made their decisions in
Oh,
Viking
right.
times
Oh,
is called a
is that what you're
thing.
talking about?
Yes. So is it
Yeah, but
weird?
what does it mean in I don't know what it means in Icelandic. Does it mean thing?
No, it has to do with laws. I
Yes.
can't speak for Icelandic, but I can speak for because we still have it. I mean, it's in Swedish. It's a thing, so it's just a bit. It's not so much a sound as a t.
Oh,
Ting.
okay. Ting. Okay.
Yeah. So we have the tingsrätt,
Right.
which is
Thingvillier. Thingvillier.
Thingvellir.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Thingvellir, I think, means uh, like the slet. The field, or maybe the place for the thing.
Known for the Althing, the site of Iceland's parliament from the
Yep.
10th to 18th centuries. Pingvillir is another name
Thingvellir.
for it, with a weird, with some letter. I have no idea what that is. It looks like a P, but it's not.
Oh, that's the th sound.
Th.
Hmm.
Okay.
It's a more like
That's right where
with
the
your
plate
tongue
goes.
between your
Right where
lips.
the mid-Atlantic. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's right where the mid-Atlantic ridge goes through.
Oh, I didn't know that actually.
And so, yeah, that's you can swim between the continents. Now, I didn't do that, but it's the best place to see tectonic plates. You're standing between
Oh.
the two continents. Yeah. Oh, if you guys go there, yeah, let me know because I can show you some really good places there.
Oh, for sure. DK1.
And the horses are really, there's like cool horses there. And
The Gotlandsrust. No, the Iceland horse,
right.
not the Gotland. My brain did a poo-poo. Yeah, and those horses are actually so they were brought over by the Vikings, and now they are so. If a horse, I don't know what the breed is called in English. It's just Icelandic horse in if you translate it from Swedish to English.
Right.
So if it ever leaves, if one of those horses leave Iceland, it can never return.
Just
So
from
you
tradition or?
No, it has to do with
Oh, with bringing back viruses or whatever, or
yeah,
illness? Oh, okay.
viruses and illnesses,
Wow.
and of course also if you have a female horse, I don't know the word for that in English off the top of my head. A mare?
Is it? Yeah, mare. Yeah.
Mare, yeah. Then if she were to meet some stud and suddenly they have the wrong kind of genetics mixed up in the pool. But even for male horses, because of the risk of contaminations of
Oh,
various
okay.
kind,
I
they
think
are
the
very,
only,
very insular on when it comes to preserving the Icelandic culture
right.
and language, because they are so small. They realized they would be like gobbled up in no time.
Though everybody spoke fluent English,
Yeah.
in addition to Icelandic, the only time I ran into a person that didn't speak English was in the West Fjords, which is, one of the more remote areas.
Oh,
Beautiful area, but yeah, some of the older people there did not speak English. And I think
right.
the only native mammal there is a fox. Is that true? There is a fox, and there are foxes in the Western fjords. I know that.
Yes, but
And of course,
if
there's
I'm not
seals and stuff like that, and whales. But
yeah, but those are just quasi. They're pseudo mammals. No, they're not.
Right,
That's,
right. Wannabe.
wannabe mammals. No, but the horses, the Icelandic horse, is also a mammal, to my
Well, yeah, but
knowledge.
it's not a native to Iceland.
Oh, you mean they have a wait, stop.
The Arctic fox is the only species of land mammal native to Iceland, and it to have lived there for a long time. I mean, they weren't always there, of course, but it's believed to have lived on the island since the last ice age.
Oh, you mean yeah. It's the word native that
Oh,
trips me out. The definition of native. But yes. But I think they must, because as you said, or someone said, probably you. What did you say? I don't know.
I don't know.
The fox.
Yes.
And I said the horses were brought over. Yeah, so by native you mean that has gotten there by their
Naturally,
own.
not by
Yes,
humans.
natural. Yeah,
I don't know who brought
okay.
the horses over, whether it was the Irish monks or, I mean, the Irish were there before the Vikings.
N-
Yeah,
They were there and settled
they
there?
were there and settled, and then the Vikings came and wiped them out. Iceland first. We're learning a lot about Iceland, everybody. I don't know who's watching
Yeah.
this. Sorry, Ghost, if you want to change the topic at any time, just let us know.
Yes, of course.
Because I'm just talking to Devi and I'm forgetting that like we're on an actual
Me
screen
too.
here. I'm Googling stuff. First people, yeah. What's that, Logan?
Big Bad Mama. I think I have to be shutting the show down. Been on a couple
Okay.
hours. But can I talk to you guys real quick after the show?
Of
Sure.
course.
Are you gonna shut it
Yeah.
down?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
sorry
let
about
me oh, that's okay. Let me see. Recorded settlement has conventionally been dated back to 1874. Although archaeological evidence indicates Gallic monks from Ireland, known as Papar, according to sagas, may have settled Iceland earlier. Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
We'll